Welcome back. It is season 3 of Another Man's Shoes, and we are super excited to have you here with us. I've been wanting to record these episodes again for quite a while. We had to take the old podcast seasons 1 and 2 down. We recorded around about 17, 18 episodes, but there was a little bit of feedback from the MOD, and they weren't particularly happy, given that I was still sort of serving in some respects and doing the podcast. So, we took them down, and we had a mutual agreement that the minute I hung my boots up, the podcast will be following straight after. Well, the Belt and Bury are now back in the locker to come out only on Remembrance Sunday. So here you are with us now. We've got seasons 1 and 2 going back up on Spotify and all the usual channels that you can listen to it to. So please download those, start listening to them. Let's get the user numbers back up, get the algorithm searching for us, and so then more people can enjoy the show. But even better, I've got a good friend of mine, Martin Cartwright. So Martin is now going to join me on season 3. He's going to help co-host. We've been playing around for a few years, been on lots of adventures together. We've got quite a few dits. So I thought before we start releasing season 3, it'd be worth talking about what we've got coming up. Meet Martin, tell a few stories, and put your feet back up and enjoy the show with us. So Martin's stood here in the studio with me now. So Martin, say hello.
Cheers, Adam. Hi guys. I'm absolutely thrilled to have been asked to come on as your co-host and record Another Man's Shoe Series 3. Obviously, as you alluded to, you'd served 22 years in the Airborne Forces. I've had the privilege of working with some amazing men and women along my career. My time in the military has taught me a lot about, resilience and teamwork and leadership. So thanks. It's an absolute honour to be able to come on here and express and have those conversations along the way. As a veteran, I'm passionate to discuss these issues and matters that most commonly come up, whether it's transitioning into civilian life, something that I've recently gone through. Obviously my experiences in the military that I feel people might like to hear. So thanks, Adam.
No worries, mate. I think you've made some good points there, actually. Is that a lot of people that listen to this might be about to leave the military. You're going through that process. You've just transitioned out of the military, not sexuality. We do wonder. So I think we'll probably touch on that in a bit, because it is quite a difficult process. You've done 22 plus years in the military. Exactly. You're institutionalized. And I remember when I got out, it was hard work, and you go through that career transition workshop, and you've got people turning around and sort of telling you how to write your CV and this is what you're going to do. But the reality is, in a month's time, your wages are stopping.
Correct. Exactly. And if you don't give yourself that time, go kick that can down the road and do the right things, courses, etc., you're gonna find difficult times. That's what I want. We will touch on it through series 3. If there's people out there that are going through this at the moment, and they're concerned and they've got worries, guys, just reach out to Another Man's Shoes, and we'll try and help you along the way. That's what this is all about. It's about rallying around each other and trying to give you that advice and guidance. Because like I said, I've just gone through it. So
Yeah, and I think that's what it's about. It's a two-way street with this podcast. Is we want to get the stories out there, but likewise, if you hear something or you think, oh, these guys might know the answer to this, just reach out. Get us on Instagram, Another Man's Shoes. You can search for us, find us there, and on Spotify now, you can leave comments on there. On YouTube, where we're putting the episodes, you can leave comments on there. So we're pretty easy to get hold of. And we're also sort of closely tied with an amazing charity that helps veterans called the Pilgrim Bandits charity. We've got Matt Hellier, the CEO. He's been on and done a mental health episode for us before in season 1. We're going to re-release that episode actually in the next few days, so you can hear that, because there's some really good stuff that was in there. That was during COVID we recorded that, but many of the points are still relevant now. So
important to get that information out there.
Yeah, totally agree. And so we'll put that out. But actually, speaking of Matt, that sort of brings us on to some of the guests we've got coming on this season.
Super excited, Adam. Super excited.
I don't think we're going to tell everyone yet. We'll keep them in. Yeah,
let's keep that.
We'll keep it up our sleeve. Well, I think, what should we say? We got SAS.
Yeah.
SBS.
SB. Yeah. Pathfinders.
Paratroopers. Signals. Some good raw signals.
Yeah.
super hats. We've got some entrepreneurs.
Blue light.
We're going to get a few of those on, aren't we? We don't want to go over the top because, not everyone wants to talk about how a copper screwed your life over.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. Oh, mate.
We will touch
hang on.
We will touch on that through.
That's a segue.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get on there. So, yeah, if anyone, in case I forget, just keep reminding me to ask about Martin's brushings with the law over the years. All good heart, though. Don't worry about that.
I saved it till the end, though.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, so what would have happened if you'd have been caught? You'd have been bust, I suppose.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Cheers, Adam.
Yeah, so in one of my podcast episodes, I was introducing Martin as former Sergeant Major, 22 years. And that is true. He was formerly a Sergeant Major, but he didn't quite leave at that rank. But
hey, I'm getting the pension, though.
That's all that matters. It's all about the pension, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's a great podcast. We're releasing them every week. So we're recording one a week, or we might record multiple ones in a week, but we'll release them weekly. We've partnered up actually with a great pub down in Ashley Crossing Pool called the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it's great.
We've had a few sketchy nights down there, but what they've done upstairs, they've created this like secret lounge area, kind of like a members only place. Really comfy sofas, private bar, DJ set up and everything up there. So we're gonna actually put the podcast in there. So when we're filming it, it's a great background. It's really comfortable. We can get some beers going with the guests, get them sort of loose lips and sink ships and see if we can get them spin a few better dits. And obviously along the way, we'll probably end up having a few lagers. Martin have lime in his.
If you've never been down to the Bermuda Triangle, you've got to get down there. It's a great pub.
It is good. And the thing is, they're sponsors of the show. They're helping us with this. But one thing we're not doing is putting ad breaks in. It is an hour of chat, banter, brutal, gritty talk. I don't want to be hearing
like-minded talk. Hey, Adam.
It is, well, again, yeah, your fashion accessories we could talk about on a different episode. You can go on the gay cast, but probably can't say that. That'd be us banned. But
we'll be off the air. So
okay, again.
Yeah, booted off again.
So, Martin, 22 years. So let's have a little 5-minute rundown. So where did you start? Where did you go? What did you see? What are you going to bring into this season? When you're asking people, I suppose what people want to know is that we've got credibility.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, so to answer that, Adam, I joined the military when I was 18. That young lad went down the careers office and signed up in Oxford, and I did my basic training at Cartwright in 2003. And while I was going through training, I was told I was nothing. You were never going to be anything, and you certainly was never going to be a paratrooper. So obviously, I had a lot to prove, and there was a lot of haters out there, and there still is a lot of haters out there that don't want people to achieve in life. So if those people are listening, switch it off. Don't listen. So yeah, and so I did my basic training at Cartwright in 2003, and then I went to the Royal School of Artillery in Larkhill, Salisbury. Did my gunnery stuff there and got my driving licenses, and then I volunteered for the Airborne Gunners, 7th Parachute Regiment, Royal Horse Artillery.
Hang on a minute, I'm going to cut in there.
7 para.
7 para.
RHA.
There's probably like a whole load of para reg guys that have just listened.
Yeah, they're going to be there, aren't they?
Well, they've just listened to you say 7th Parachute Regiment there. And they'll be like screaming. They probably just crashed their car or whatever. They're beating their wife up.
That's what the sign says outside our HQ. So
we'll go with that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, then I went and joined 7 in Aldershot, Lille Barracks. So yeah, I just managed to fit in Aldershot before we all moved up to Colchester. But I spent most of my career there in Colchester, and I did. Tour of Kosovo in 2004. That was a surveillance tour. We did the cop course and went off to Kosovo and did surveillance. I was on teams, and I was also a part of the ops room, and we'd rotate through and stuff like that. So yeah, after that came back. Didn't really have much of a break, to be fair, because obviously then we started the sort of lead up to Op Herrick. So yeah,
okay.
I did 3 tours of Herrick.
For people that don't know, sort of Herrick, Tellick, different operational names, different theatres.
That's right. Yeah. So Herrick is Afghanistan. I managed to get him 3 tours of Afghanistan. So yeah, obviously good and bad stories of that, which we'll touch on through series 3, without sort of, going too deep. And did a tour in other units as well. I wasn't always part of an airborne unit. I spent a couple of years 4th Regiment, and I spent a couple of years 19 Regiment, and I'm finishing off down at Thorney Island with 12th Regiment. Yeah. So
you're in. This is one of the things that always confused me. When I had Martin Compton on for his episode, we were talking about he was in the lifeguards, and then you had the different parts of the lifeguards, like ceremonial, mounted, armoured, cav, whatever. It was all a bit woolly, to be honest. But with you joined the Royal Artillery.
That's correct.
But then your cat badge is a cat badge of Royal Horse Artillery. So just explain this once and for all so I understand.
There's not many horses going out the back of a C-130, is there?
Pat Albert just gave birth to a horse.
So the Royal Horse Artillery is the cipher cat badge, and the Royal Artillery is what we know as the gun cat badge, basically. There's a few Royal Horse Artillery regiments. You've got 3 RHA, 7 RHA, and then King's Troop wear the RHA cipher, and they also wear the RA cat badge as well, which I don't get. Yeah,
still confused.
Me too.
Can I narrow it down? Is it something along the lines of it's like light guns for the Royal Horse Artillery? So it's anything that you can sort of basically put in the back of a C-130 or tow along the road.
Yeah.
Whereas Royal Artillery are the big tanks with whatever.
They're not tanks, but
no, we'll have Pete on somewhere. We'll get him on one of these episodes. He'll tell us the difference between a tank and armoured vehicle.
We'll have to get a translator here, though.
Bore our eyelids off. But okay, so you got basically Royal Artillery, big guns.
Yeah.
Horse Artillery, little guns that used to be pulled by
there
horses.
You go. You've nailed it, mate.
Well nailed it. Okay, so then you decided that you wanted to go airborne. Absolutely, every man should. Take me through that process.
Yeah, so I did 3 attempts at the All Arms Parachute Selection course. 2 attempts obviously failed up the road, and then I passed my third attempt. You go away, you do sort of a 8-week beat up course, which is you do all of the events. So you've got your 8-miler, you've got your PFA on the first day in your trimnasium. Yeah. For those of you that don't know what trimnasium is, it's like an assault course that's really high, and you have to run and jump at things and just show that you're competent at commands at height and stuff like that. So for later on down the line when you've passed, you'll react to that command in the aircraft essentially. That's day 1, and then once you've got through that first day, you've got to dig in and try and stay injury free to get to test week, which is 2.5 weeks later. And then in test week, there's 7 or 8 tests that you have to complete through that test week.
So when I went through in 99, we did pre-para, which was
pre-parachute selection,
in Aldershot.
You only did a week?
It was a week with 216.
Wow.
Our signal.
You was lucky.
So we went there for a week. Might have been 2, but I think effectively we were supposed to have been trained by the unit. So
ours was
came along.
Yeah, ours was like you did a pre-parachute selection with the regiment to make sure you get the tick in the box from the regiment. Then you did pre-parachute selection, and then you went and done parachute selection. So it was there was free sort of courses just to get up there.
But were you a 7 power already?
I was already there.
Tom?
Yeah, as a Tom.
Yeah, so I think that's the difference, because I was in a unit in Germany.
Okay, yeah, Roger.
You just basically got dumped into Aldershot, and it was kind of, there you go, and it was an absolute baptism of fire. I think I'd rather have done the 8-week, because that was a horrendous week, and they just basically wanted to beast you. And so then you do that, you go on to P Company.
Yeah.
So take us through P Company. How long is that?
So P Company is 3.5 weeks. So like I said, that first day is your screening day.
Yeah.
You got to pass them a free test to get on it. And then it is literally it's just a thrashing, isn't it? You know, soldering wise, I didn't really do much soldering other than a Bergen inspection, packing your Bergen. And I think we did a day and night nav.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you did the day and night nav, didn't you? And you get your head down after the night nav, and you get woken up at 0400. Let's go, and you get contacted in the harbour area and stuff. So yeah, and then they do bugging out drills and stuff like that, and you just get thrashed. You don't know when it's going to end. So yeah, one thing I would say about the free courses that I did, they because obviously I did one early 2003-4, and then I didn't actually pass till later on, till I was a bombardier, which is a corporal, due to operations and other stuff going on, courses and that. But when I did pass, the course the test is still the same, but they just got grown ups to take the course. The DS were grown ups on my final course. It wasn't a case of let's just beast everybody and see how many people we can get off the course. Yeah. It was, how can we make the airborne forces bigger? How can we get good people, to exit that aircraft in through this course? So they changed it and they just made it more grown up,
Yeah, I think that's really important because you just don't need to be fresh. You need to get guys through injury free, or you don't want to get to the end of that course, turn up at your unit and you're just no good to man or beast.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you went on to P Company itself, onto test week.
Yep. So P Company itself, test week is 7 or 8 tests without going through them, unless you want to go through them. But
let's have a quick run through.
Yeah. Okay. So you do the 10 miler, which is the reverse 10 miler. I don't know why I think you do it one way on screening and then you do it the other way for tests. So, but essentially the 10 miler is, you got your Bergen on your back, 35 pound, carrying your rifle. And you've got 2 hours to complete the 10 miler. Yeah. I think there's two or three walk stops in there.
Yeah. And to put that into context, the standard army PFT, ACFT, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I mean,
that
we
was
don't
8
do
miles
that.
in 2 hours, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So for airborne forces, you're doing
an extra
same
2
time,
miles,
but an extra 2 miles.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, we don't do them tests anymore, and we'll touch on how things have changed in my 22 years, and we'll touch on that when the time's right. But yeah, so you do the reverse 10 miler with all that kit on. You do the trimnasium again, which we've already discussed. Yeah. You do the steeplechase, which is, a 2 mile assault course with water and jumps and, you've got your helmet, wet clothing on, your boots are full of water.
Every man for themselves.
It is literally every man. You are climbing over each other just to, to get in that 18 minutes. Yeah. I think it's 18 minutes. It was a long time ago. And then what else we got? You got the log. Stretcher. You've got the log and stretcher, which are the airborne ones. They're the airborne tests.
For you, what was worse?
I would probably say the log, because we only finished with 2 guys on the log.
Yeah, you hear that a lot. A lot of come off the log, and you just got to be pulling it.
Yeah, so me and another lad managed to drag it across the finish line somehow, and we'd lost quite a few guys along the way. So yeah, absolutely. You've got also milling on the last day, which is toe to toe, 60 seconds. Again, every man for himself. And what that's about is, it's about seeing who will do that thing on the day where they put their head above the parapet and start getting rounds down and stuff like that. So yeah,
mate, long memories.
It was memory.
Don't forget it. Don't forget your
don't forget it. Absolutely. And when you've done it 3 times just to get through, it's
well, mate, that's perseverance, isn't it? You stuck around. That is the airborne spirit.
I had a lot to prove, to myself mainly, and secondly to all the haters, people that were like, never going to do it. But
all the blokes in the unit, I was going to do that, but
yeah, and you
sign
get
up
them
for it,
down
give
the
it a
pub.
go all the
Get
time.
them down the pub. I'm proud of what I achieved. That was my B company was my limit. But like I say, I'm super proud of myself.
I think so. You should be. It's a great achievement. And also, you went on and did your jumps. And then
That's it. Down at Bryce Norton. Yeah. Great course, fun course. I did a January course as well, and the snow was, lovely on Western on the green and nice soft landings. Unfortunately, I've not had many of them recently because of my weight gain, but there you go. It happens to the best of us, doesn't it?
That's it. We have to put more weight in our burden, I think is what you're saying.
That's what it was, yeah.
Exactly. You've got to carry more link. Can't beat a decent landing. Very few of them. They're few and far between.
I mean, that LLP is...
Yeah. But we'll talk about that landing I had in France the other day when they told me that new rig that you could flare it. I was like, what?
There was no flaring, no.
There's no flaring. It just dumped all the air out of it and put me on the mate. Yeah, that was the best PLF I've ever done. But, okay, so we've done your P Company career.
Yeah.
Then we'll touch on Afghan, so on Herrick. You were on...
I did.
06, was that Herrick, the first one you did?
That was Herrick 4. Yeah, I did Herrick 4, 8 and 10.
4 was when it went kinetic.
That's right, yeah. So obviously Martin Crompton, one of our good mates, through the charity, he was on that tour. And lots of, other people that we know were injured. And so, yeah, when you talk about connectivity, it was I think one of the American generals or something alluded to us Brits is them back in Vietnam. We were loose, running around with flip-flops and baseball caps on and stuff. So things needed to change later on down the line, and it did. They brought in lots of regulations and stuff to protect everybody.
Well, I had to, didn't it? I think everything I suppose the progress in those few years with the equipment, all the rapid procurement of new vehicles, better clothing. It was needed because we were still. So that's my noisy chair here. See if we can edit that out.
There's a few things you've got to edit out, mate.
Yeah, maybe we'll just keep it real. I think maybe that's what people will want. Okay, so we'll touch on Herrick actually later on in the season because Martin Compton's going to come back on.
Yeah.
For anyone out there that knows, Martin was severely injured in Afghanistan on Herrick. He was a airborne cavalry guy. That's horses again, isn't it? Another thing you guys got in common. And it was it was a horrendous contact that they got into. But I won't say too much. But there's a really good story that didn't come to light until we were in Arnhem, weren't we?
That's right. Yeah,
there's the 75th.
I think like you say, we won't say too much, and we'll leave that till we get Martin back on, and we'll play it out then. I think.
Yeah. We'll probably have to pay his expenses, though, won't we?
And take him down the pub, get him dinner, buy his drinks all night.
Exactly. So if anyone out there actually knows Martin, actually, if you're listening to this, mate, it's your round. Yeah. And Pete, if you're listening, it's your round too.
Don't forget to put that money in the PayPal.
Exactly. Oh, hang on. And John Chart. He's another great guest we're going to get back on the show. I mean, he's got an excuse because sadly he's got motor neuro and his arms don't work. But I think he's had motor neuro in 50 years because he's definitely been reaching into his wallet, is he? So, he's got T-Rex. But this is awful. But this is what it's going to be about, to be honest, guys. This is the show. We all love each other. It's a bit of banter. It's a laugh and a joke, some serious moments. We can talk about our shared experiences, and we can have some fun with this. Season 3 is going to be great. I am really looking forward to it. Martin is a proper co-host. He's a real sidekick. We're going to let some more stories out about him throughout the season.
I want to talk lots about, how we met, the charity, which
Can't talk about how we met.
So much to me. Yeah, we won't talk about Tampa. What happened in Tampa stays in Tampa.
What happened in the Isle of Wight stays in the Isle of Wight. Arnhem.
Skiing.
What are we going to talk about?
Yeah, no, there's just no stories.
No, crikey. We might edit out. So a couple of years ago, we did we've called it the Fishing Club episode when
that
we had a load of the guys over the house. We were down on the river shooting, fishing, messing around. Obviously, the beers come out, so we got the podcast machine out.
I think it was like the first ever recording of Another Man's Shoes, wasn't it? Yeah.
Great quality,
No.
but really good because everyone really opened their hearts up and told about their experiences on the different tours. The first time they were in contact, the first time they shot someone, or whatever it may be. But we had some fun with that one. It's only about 25 minutes long.
Yeah.
But I think
So it might be interesting.
it is interesting. I've had to re-listen to it. It is good, but there's definitely some stuff in there that might get the police involved. So maybe we'll have a little edit of that.
I don't need any more police attention, thank you.
No more of that. So yeah, we'll have a little look at that. Maybe that's one. We'll see what the demand's like. People turn around and say they want to hear it. Write in, tell us why you think you want to hear it, and we'll consider it, and then we'll edit it, or we'll just re-record it. We'll just get everyone around again, get the whiskey and beer out, and make it even better.
Yeah.
But so this season 3, that's a quick few minutes about what this season is going to be about, what we've got coming up, what Martin's around, a bit of his backstory. And we're going to be releasing the first episode of season 3 in a couple of weeks' time. We've got a few things going on before then. We're going to edit a few more of the last season, just get them back up. Martin's heading out to Arnhem for the 80th anniversary of the guys.
For the 80th anniversary, really, it's going to be great fun.
Oh, mate, I'm a bit annoyed that I pulled the plug on that one now because
it's never too late.
Well, sadly, I've got to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
But things may change.
We'll see.
We'll have a look. You might just see me sort of parachute in for a day, go on the piss, and then get out Dodge again.
Make sure you wear that horrible itchy pants.
Oh my God, I don't want to talk about parachuting anymore. Giving me PTSD. We'll have to do a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the end of this episode with Martin and myself. Hope you enjoyed it. It's just a little bit really about us. It was a bit of a fun one. We're going to put this up online pretty quickly so people just get to know us. But as we said, any questions you want to fire at us, we're on Instagram, Another Man's Shoes. Martin can share his Instagram at another point. We've got Spotify, we've got YouTube and Apple Podcasts. This is a really important one, actually. There's an app on Apple just called Podcasts. It's like a purple microphone picture. That seems to be the only real way at the moment that you can leave feedback and star reviews. But it's particularly important because that's actually what helps get us right up the rankings, with the algorithms that search for us and push us into your recommended playlists. So if you have got access to Apple Podcasts, be it yourself or someone in your family, if you could just search for us, Another Man's Shoes on there, just scroll to the bottom, just give us 5 stars. That'd be fantastic. And it says leave a review. If it's 1 or 2 words, that's all it needs to be because that then just bumps us up. If you can't do that, or if you're on another platform, if you're just going through Spotify, YouTube, just subscribe, just follow us, subscribe. So you'll automatically get a notification when the next episode comes out, a download. And again, it just helps that algorithm work. And that's what we want. We're having some fun with this. We're not having sort of anyone invest in it. It's all off our own back. So what would be great is to see more people can hear us. For every download, it means so much. So from us, thank you very much for listening for the last half an hour.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam.
And we'll see you on the other side.
Looking forward to it.